All right, how you doing? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something really awesome, and I love this topic because it's one of my favorite topics. I specialize in this. So after selling millions and millions of dollars in high-ticket products, I can share with you some of the secrets that I've learned about how to create your own high-ticket product. This is what this video is all about, and I'm super excited to be sharing this with you because a lot of people tend to struggle in developing or creating high-ticket signature programs, products, services, packages that they can put to market. It can be complicated. There can be a lot of effort and energy and work required to create a high-ticket product. I like to call them red diamonds because a red diamond is one of the most valuable stones in the world. It's a very rare stone. And so the context of what we do is to create a high-ticket red diamond offer that people want to buy, right? To make it desirable, to make it irresistible, to make it rare, to make it unique. And that's the context of this video today. I'm going to talk to you firstly, number one, we're going to talk about why most people fail when it comes to high-ticket products, high-ticket coaching or selling. I'm going to talk about how we've learned about creating a signature offer. This is very important stuff, that the knowledge that I'm sharing you has helped us sell millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of offers and packages and programs. We sell everything from $5,000 packages all the way up to $50,000 packages, which is where we are at the moment. So I'm going to give you the insights and show you how we've done that and what that looks like, and maybe you could implement some of that stuff in your business. Also, I'm going to talk about how we've strategically gone about increasing the price points. Now, it's fair to say that the more you charge, in most instances, the more profit you can make if you've structured that, offer or service or package or program the right way. But I'm going to show you what we've done to increase our price points. And number four, I'm going to share with you our secret formula for creating and developing high-ticket programs, services, consulting packages, all that type of good stuff, and how we've done it over the last 10, 12 years. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know that we have a three-phase formula, and our first phase is equity, our second phase is trust, and our third phase is control. These are the key ingredients you must have to drive a successful high-ticket coaching, consulting, or expert business. There's no way around any of these if you want to grow and scale a profitable, world-class business. And especially if you want to break the $100,000 a month mark. Phase one, equity, is to be creating something so desirable they can't resist it, right? Obviously, that makes obvious sense, but to get that happening takes skill and takes systems and process. To create high-value offers that you can sell for $5,000 all the way up to $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. The other is you need trust. Phase two is very, very important because if you want clients these days, if you want people to do business with you, the number one metric is trust. With trust levels so low these days, it's one of the most important things to work on, to have that full streamline of clients coming into your calendar every day. So the idea that we've created is to become so admired they just can't ignore you. And phase number three that we have in our process is to have control, right? And this is to create and have in systems that are so simple that you become unstoppable, because there's nothing worse than running around like a headless chicken in your business and you've lost control because you don't have the right processes and systems in place. It's all about simplicity, right? And so I'll tell you a bit about who I am in a minute. So the idea for us is to help our clients, right, make $100,000 a month consistently to get 60 to 80% profit. And I'm going to show you how that works and how we've done our packages, and to do it 3 to 7 times faster. This is the systematization and implementation of processes without burning out. This is the idea of keeping things simple so that you can control your business and it's not controlling you. Now, I come from a very strange background to be involved with coaching and consulting. I was a construction manager for most of my career, building high-rise buildings. This is the top of one of the buildings, my last building that I was putting together. This is a picture of me coming to the end of my work life in construction, where I was about to give up. Not give up, give in, throw in the towel and go in another direction. I wasn't really happy there, even though I've got a smile on my face, because it was a high pressure job. There was a lot of arguments and pressure to deliver and that pressure to argue with people to get things done was driving me nuts. Even though I was really good at the job, I wanted to move on. I was building high-rise projects all the way up to $180 million. To drive a project on this scale, you need to know systems, you need to know process, you need to know efficiency. And so this was the last project that I worked on. This is a $180 million project. It goes all the way back up. You can't see the parts at the back, so it's a big, big building, 12 stories, and then 3 stories underground, which is an incredibly big build. This took us quite a while to complete, but this was my final project where I decided that was it, time for me to move on. I jumped into building a new business, which is in the real estate business, using my skills to help me opportunity and help real estate investors increase their cash flow. So this was the business that I started. It took me a while to build and develop the systems to create the success that we have. And typical ad spend will be about $100,000. We made $4.2 million in revenue in the 2 years. And this system that I'm showing you is the exact same system we use today in Coach Launch and what we're using for our clients. And it's driving phenomenal results still in this business. And this business is automated. So these are our high ticket, call them our red diamond ticket clients. And these are our pink diamond and blue diamond clients. So $5,000 to $50,000 for these clients. We're selling a $50,000 package to. So the system works really well. The three-phase formula, create $4.2 million 2 years. 2 businesses run autonomously. I've spent $263,000 on self-education, trying to understand high ticket to the degree that I'm taking out the best of all the information that I've spent money on to develop something that is streamlined, efficient, fast, and delivers on results over and over again. We've helped our clients make more than $5.8 million a year investing with us. All right, my role, my goal, my vision, to take you from feeling like this, burnt out, worn out, frustrated, stressed, running around with a business that's frustrating you because you're overwhelmed with all the nuances, all the things that have to happen, all your tabs that are open every day, or trying to learn new things, trying to implement new ideas and strategies, chasing the shiny objects, getting worn out and frustrated, and at the end of the day, feeling exactly like this. My role is to help you get to a point where you feel confident, where you're in charge and control of your client base. You can help more people, you can feel good about what you're doing, and you can become the leader and coach, consultant, or expert that you're meant to be. So that's my dream and my vision for everyone. So as I go through this, please guys, if you would go ahead, subscribe. Join me. I share all my information about how we're doing and growing our businesses, and I do it for free. Subscribe to our channel and you'll learn all of the stuff and information that I do, and hopefully I can help you grow your business and be successful in your endeavors in coaching and consulting. So this is the process that we have. This is our formula that works. It's the 3 phases: equity, trust, and control. So I know this might be a little bit small, but we've created what we call the red diamond funnel to sell high ticket products, offers, and it's designed in a way to get repeatable results and to make life easier, simpler, and with processes and systems designed, because processes and systems are important in any business, right? I'm not going to dive deep into these. I've got many videos that you can watch that talks exactly about all of this stuff. We'll be diving deeper into a lot of these things in my videos to show you how we've created our success, how we've been able to sell high ticket programs and services and packages, and how we put it all together in a formula that works, a system that runs itself, right? So there's a lot in there, right? So that's pillar 1, pillar 3, pillar 2. What it looks like is this, right? So the red diamond funnel is this component that we have designed, right? It's from here all the way to here. So this is a funnel. The funnel is designed, it's automated. It has all the pieces of the puzzle that you need to create success in high ticket coaching, consulting, or as an expert. It has everything here as a purpose, and I dive deep into all of these so feel free to watch my videos as I explain all of this stuff and how it works for us and how it's driving huge results for us without all the complication, without all the challenges, the webinars, all this stuff out there that can be very frustrating to put together and try and drive and run. No low ticket offers. We've got rid of all the fluff, the stress, the worry, and we've just tightened everything up. And this is a formula that works super well for us and our clients. So what are we talking about today when we talk about the high ticket offer? Was everything that runs around your offers, right? Now we have a core offer. Now For us, we have what some people might consider low ticket. We actually have a high ticket as an entry-level product. And then we have even higher ticket offers that we have in the back end, where we're selling people on more valuable kind of packages that they can work deeper with us on, right? But when you're delivering, so this component is about delivery, it's advocacy, this is providing that service package or whatever you've created to your clients. And over here, the most important, this is the heart and soul of everything that you do in your business. It's creating your own package, formula, service, whatever you want to call it for yourself, that's unique, it stands out in the marketplace, and it has a purpose to deliver results for your clients. There's many ways to deliver on these things depending on the type of business that you have, but for the front end, or the foremost important thing that drives results, is what I'm talking about today. And that's knowing your offer or your product and what that does for people, because you're selling that thing, and that thing that you're selling needs to inspire people, get them places, make them feel good about what they're doing, and tell other people about who you are and what you've just done for them. So if we can go out a little bit, I'm going to talk about these incrementally. So we'll dive down over here. So when we talk about high ticket, it's obviously a product that does something for someone, right? What doesn't matter what niche or sector or space you're in. If you're a coach, consultant, expert, even in the service game, you can sell high ticket products or packages. And to do that, there is two big drivers, right? The first driver of high ticket products, effort, right? What's the effort that I need to put in for that thing that I'm going to be getting? And ultimately, the other side of it is the reward. So it's effort against reward. What's it going to take for me to get there? What am I going to get out of it? It's a simple formula. That's all there is to it. There's nothing more complicated than that. So on the effort side of things, it comes down to things like, complexity. How complex is it going to be for me to do that? How difficult have you made it, right? What's the time involved for me to get that thing? Can this be done? Can I do it, right? Is it something I can do? If it's something that's holding them back, like financially, or have they got time to do it, or is there capacity in their life to do it, which will help them move forward with that thing? And then obviously a big component is cost. Not just the cost in money, but the cost in time, the cost in effort, right? So cost plays a big role of this. On the other side, you've got reward, right? Which is your results. What results are they going to get from this thing? It's a huge thing that drives that decision-making process. The next thing is, what's my future looking like if I do this? All right, what does this look like in the future if I take on this thing that I'm doing, and what's it going to do for me? Is it sustainable, right? Is this thing something that I can keep doing? Is this thing going to be something that isn't going to be risky for me to do, and I can keep doing this for however long it takes me to get the results? And then finally, it's the feeling, how you feel about this. What's the feeling going to be for me in the end of this? Feeling or the emotion of this is critical in the development of a high ticket product, because the feeling component drives all of this stuff to get them to take action. But they're working mentally, every client will work against the effort versus the reward. And the outcomes play a big role in this, right? So I've learned this over many years. I've done a lot of research and study around this. And the simplicity of it is simply, how much effort do I need to put into it? What's my reward? If the reward is higher than the effort, they move forward. So the context that we're trying to create in our businesses is that we want to make that reward super high, right? Super valuable, so that they take action. And we're using all of these components to drive that results. And I've learned over the years and all the millions of dollars that we spend on advertising that when you get this mechanics right, it totally drives really awesome results. It becomes an easier thing to sell, right? Doesn't matter what product or service that you have, this mechanics is the same. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we need to understand that people want something that they can visually wrap their minds around, that they can wrap their understanding around, that makes sense to them. And if they talk to, say, their partner or spouse or somebody about it, it makes sense to them so that it works, right? Because a lot of people, and I see this, a lot of coaches and consultants go down this path of trying to get people to buy based on a whole lot of features that they're presenting. We'll do this for you, 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 but they're not showing clarity They're not making it simple, because at the end of the day, people want two things. They want to know that the job's going to get done, and they want to know it's going to be easy to do. Those are the key metrics. So what we do is we have a diagram, and when I learned this changed a lot of stuff for me in the development and understanding of my programs and my products that we deliver. And it's that you have to have these components in order for it to make sense, right? As you're developing your products, as you're developing the mechanics for you to sell high-ticket stuff, then these are the components that need to kind of wrap around it. That makes it make sense, because you're taking somebody on a journey, right? Whatever it is. In our real estate business, we're taking people from the mortgage cost, right? It's costing them a lot of money. So the mortgage to being in a cash flow position, right? So from the stressful position of the mortgage costing them too much, we take their property, we upgrade it, we put in tenants, and then we manage it and make sure that their property is running in a cash flow position. That's the journey. We package that in a certain way, and we've done this packaging, something similar to this, right? We understand that there's a want, right? Some people want something. The journey starts with a want. A lot of people have this idea that you start with a pain. Well, you can have a lot of pain. There's pain everywhere in all of our life, in all of our society, and people don't necessarily take action on that pain until they want to, until they start prioritizing that thing, and it now becomes that thing that they need to do. And so it starts with them, and there's lots of things going on. So for instance, a business person like me, I have lots of things going on in my life, and there's lots of pains and frustrations and things that I have to put off even, and I have to prioritize what's the most important thing that I'm going to spend my time, effort, energy, and money on that drives me forward. And a lot of the other stuff I just kind of shut out. A lot of people do that, right? They'll just shut things out. So it's not till a time or a point where the want happens that there's a result that comes out of this. So just want you to understand that that's a very important mechanic, is that they prioritize that thing. And so you want to get in front of those people at that point. So they want something. So they're here now, wherever that start of the journey is, and they want to be here, wherever the end of that journey is, right? They want to accomplish something, and you're going to create that roadmap for them to get there. But then there's an obstacle, because people want things are going wrong in their life. They want to get the thing happening, or they want a result or an outcome, and there's always something that's stopping them from doing that thing, right? Whether it's finance, whether it's mindset, whether it's people around them, whether it's location or distance. These are the things that are in the way of the person moving forward. And if you understand the obstacles in the development of your programs and systems and services, then this makes it huge for you to be able to break through, because they're on a trajectory, but they've got this thing that's hindering them, that's stopping them. And if you understand what these obstacles are, and like I said, it could be, fear, it could be money, could be people in their lives. How are they going to move forward if you don't know this type of obstacle, right? So these are your primarily going to be some objections, but the things that they're concerned about moving forward. And then the next step is you need to have a big promise. This is critical. This is the thing that you're going to deliver. Like, this is what you're going to deliver on. And I dive deeper into this as a specific context in other videos, but it's the who, right? Who are you? What can you do for me? Why should I listen? And finally, how are you going to help me? These are the key ingredients of a big promise. And it doesn't have to be in one sentence. It can be laid out in many ways, long videos, short videos, and ultimately you're creating that aspect of what you're delivering for those people. They want to feel safe with who you are, and that you're going to give them something to help them break through these obstacles, right? Over here, this layer up, you need motivation. You need to be able to motivate people to do the thing, to take action on your service or project or product. And motivation comes in various forms, but the key ones, the most important ones that I think the most value is scarcity, right? And you can create scarcity in so many different ways. It's not just time, it's not just being rare, but you can do it through branding. You can do it through creating a formula, which I'm going to talk about now. You can do it through limiting your availability. There's many, many ways to do it. But the point of it is that scarcity really creates motivation. It's a very powerful tool that I've used time and time and time again. When I learned this metric years and years and years ago, it scared me. I didn't quite understand it. But now that I understand it, now that I've spent the years working through and spending so much money on advertising and really going through the battles of figuring things out, the scarcity component now just makes so much sense. It's like, why don't I just do this stuff in the beginning? Then urgency, right? Urgency as well, like you've got a limited time period to take advantage of this thing. I would urge you to consider this when it comes to urgency. Urgency is the thing that will happen to them if they don't act. If you understand what would happen to them if they don't act, and that is a part of your program or your service, and you have that in your marketing, is very, very powerful. What's going to happen if they don't do this thing? How's their life going to fall apart? What does that look like? If they own an asset that is dragging them down because it's costing them too much, then ultimately that's going to leave them in a bad position if they don't take action. Understanding that is a huge motivator. And I love to use this because it helps people understand the value that you bring to this. And then finally, a huge motivator is time, right? And time, the same as all the other ones, can be done in many different ways. The time that they're living, the time that you're saving, the time that will happen if they don't take action, what will happen in that time. There's a whole different ways to use time, but time is a very powerful motivator. All of these ingredients need to be part of your package, or I would recommend them. I use them and they work super well to build out products, services. Now here's probably the most important part, right? You wrap all of that stuff around this, is that if you're offering something like a service or a coaching program and you don't have clarity on how they're going to get there, this leaves them stumped and it leaves you struggling to try and explain it. That's why we have our own formula and a system that makes sense. It's easy to digest and you know what you're getting from it. 3 phases: equity, trust, and control. Those are very big, important metrics that you need to drive a business. And so that's why we've created that. And for anyone doing business these days, the simpler you make it, or the more attractive you make it through some simplicity, the more value you can create through this, because there's so much overwhelm and confusion and frustration out there that people are feeling lost, not knowing how to take steps forward or not knowing which is the best direction. So when you create crystal clarity, you then have stood out from the market and you've made it clear for your clients. And this happens in many ways, right? And clarity. And usually it comes in the form of pillars or core steps. Now, I don't like to do more than 4. 3 is ideal, but 4 is the most. And I've learned this model probably about 8-9 years ago. And when I started implementing this, it's really made a huge impact on our business, because exactly that. It took what I was trying to do, trying to sell, made it so much more understandable, and gave the clients, when they came on to our sales calls, this capacity, the ability to know what the next steps are going to be or what the future will look like, because I've created this clarity. And it's, 1, 2, 3, 4 pillars, 4 steps, 4 ways, right? And it's a journey that you've got to take to go, and you need all of these components to make it happen. And you're the one that develops this and has this, you brand it, this becomes your own. So in terms of creating a high-ticket model or a high-ticket offer product, these are the key ingredients to creating the most value. You know where your clients are, and you've created something that'll get them over the line, and you've made something simple so that they can take action, right? Awesome. I hope that's valuable for you, and I hope that you're getting good information from me. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because we love to give away free information to help people get growth. We've done well in our business, and we want to help as many coaches, consultants, and experts accelerate in this space. I see a lot of people frustrated and overwhelmed and struggling to move forward. That's why we developed this system to make it simple. All right. Now, the idea of any product, business, service that you provide is to create equity, right? A lot of people go with the context of creating value, but value doesn't get you equity. Value only means that you can sell that thing for whatever the amount is. When you've got equity, you've taken the cost of something, that's how much it costs you, and this is how much your price is, say it's 20K, right? You've created this disparity, and this is your equity, right? When you go and take a house, you renovate the house, and you put it back on market, it becomes perceived as more valuable. You've created equity in that asset. This is the same idea. Equity is that perceived value, but it means that you're making something out of it. You're making more out of it. And we like to go between 60 to 80%, right? And this is definitely possible. I know a lot of people go, well, that's a lot of profit. Yes, it is. And if you know how to formulate your offers and your processes, you can do this. And I'll show you how we've been doing it in a second. So equity is that component that you created, right? Equity. So you're going to create something that's of a certain amount. It costs you X amount to make, and then you want to be able to sell it at a higher price point. So if this costs, I don't know, $8,000 to create, and you sell it for $20,000, well, then you've made $12,000. That's a really good amount of profit to be made. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. We're doing it all the time. Okay, so the next layer to consider in all of this is this. Your offer or your package that you're creating has to get people to a place. Now, in order for you to make it priceless, meaning that it has the highest perceived value, right? People just want this thing. They're salivating to have this thing. They must have it, or it's going to serve them great purpose in their journey. You need to have these things in place. I feel having these things in place is going to give you the most benefit in your products and services that you offer. I can't remember exactly where I learned this from, but having implemented or having this understanding of this really makes a huge difference, and it makes so much sense. The outcome, you're selling the outcome of everything, right? We're all selling the dream. If you're in marketing, if you've been around marketing, if you have had a business for any amount of time, the ultimate thing that we're doing is we're selling the dream. We're selling these things that people want to aspire towards. And it's these three things, right? It's to have, to feel, and to be. When I learned this stuff, it really gave me a whole new perspective and a whole new overlook on product creation, delivery, and everything in our marketing. Because obviously people want these. These are all the emotional contexts of it, what they're getting out of working with you. Right? And for instance, to have choice, to have freedom, to have an amazing house, to have the luxury. When you can deliver on that, you're delivering real value. To feel. Feeling is super important, right? In everything. And having all three of these makes the most sense in a high ticket offer. To feel happy, confident, and control. These are all the types of contexts that you would provide people in the outcome of your product, right? To have, to feel, to be recognized, right? Status is a super important outcome. To be wealthy, you drive a business, you invest in real estate so that you can be wealthy. You can retire early, right? To be retired early. To be number one. A lot of business owners or people in sport or when it comes to performance want to be number one, right? Athletics, that type of stuff. These outcomes are what drive high ticket sales. If you can work these into your models, it's going to give you the edge in your offer or servicings, right? And I use these frequently. I have them on my desk all the time when I'm doing my marketing, when I'm writing emails, when I'm doing any part of our marketing process. I have these components that work for me, and I always think about them, right? They're always front of mind because you're creating an experience for people. Okay, and so putting together packages has many different flavors and feels, right? Because you have different industries, you have different outcomes, you have different levels of people that you're trying to approach. So the next thing to consider is you got the journey that you're taking your clients on, right? So they're here at this point in their lives, and you're taking them to have, feel, and be, right? The important metrics that you're aspiring towards. For a lot of people that want this thing, want to have a nice fancy car, not everyone can do that. So even though they want it, they prioritize it, or they're trying to do it, not necessarily do they have the capacity to get there. And so there's people that don't have money, and then there's people that have lots of money that they want to do the thing. And so the part of business and the mechanics of industry is that you're looking to sell to the people that in that bracket that can afford to work with you. And when you can position yourself, assuming that you're in a business that's wanting to sell high ticket products, then you're going to be looking at the segment of the market that has the capacity or the dollars to be able to work with you and invest with you. And then there's a certain amount of people that aren't quite there yet. Now you have choices. You can either not serve them or create something that can serve them to some degree, a lower ticket type environment. But just be careful that your low ticket doesn't drive you overwhelmed because you're trying to drive that more than you're trying to drive the results for your higher ticket clients. Because people that sell low, businesses see, and I've experienced this myself, when you start selling low ticket stuff, it can be draining. There's a lot of energy and effort that goes into it. People have a lot of questions in this segment. That can be time consuming. You need to be structured in a way that you can deliver it and not get overwhelmed. I feel, right, in my business especially, that I want to give the most value to these people. And so my focus, attention, and effort needs to be set around being able to deliver that high value so that we can keep charging the high prices that we are and people are happy with what we're delivering. Okay, so depending on the different segments you're in, there could be different outcomes, right? Now, this is what I've done in the past. When I first started out, I was looking for a way to break into the market and sell something and make a good profit. Right? Obviously, everybody wants to do that, but I didn't know what that looked like. And after a lot of research and understanding of the sector that I was going into, which was real estate, building wealth, I started learning the steps that it would take to get somebody from where they're struggling, to having an asset that was making them an outcome that they wanted. But I couldn't deliver on all these things. Personally, I couldn't do all the things that were necessary because it took other people to get involved to do this. And I'll explain what that looks like in a minute. Now, this is the secret that I've used to create high-ticket products over the years, and it works super well. Now, most people, we'll take an industry, for example, say strength or bodybuilding. Let's say we're assuming this is bodybuilding, right? Now, with bodybuilding or building muscle, strength, you need to have certain things that will help you get to a point where you've got a bigger physique, you're stronger, you're feeling good about yourself, and that journey takes effort, energy, and you've got to do certain things. So there's steps, and in those steps, there's a whole lot of things that you're going to do on that journey. Then you obviously need things like supplements, right? Supplements, diet, food, right? Nutrition, all that type of stuff. You need a part of that process would be accountability, and you'll need things like schedule. You'll need a place to work out. So all of these things that go into building strength and building muscle. And each of these are separate industries in and amongst themselves. And you could sell supplements. These are low ticket, for X amount of dollars, whatever. Say you're selling something for $49. Right? You can sell in these sections, and it's very hard to build a business successfully if you're just selling the one thing. Now, there are people that are selling supplements all over the place. There's brands all over the world that have got good quality products to offer that you can create packages with, right? But you want to help somebody build their strength. They also need to have food and diet and eat the right way, increase their consumption and, have more calories so that they can build muscle. That in itself, there's an entire industry. You can sell menu plans, diet plans. You can sell stuff off the website that people can buy, it can get delivered. There's a whole lot of things that go around diet and food when it comes to building muscle. Then accountability, right? Having a trainer, having somebody help you through that process, coaching you to do the thing to get yourself stronger and feeling good about building your physique. Having a schedule, right? Time, having somebody lay things out for you, knowing that you're doing X on X time creates that clarity. And then a place to work out, like a facility, a gym, or a home-based gym environment. Right? What that all look like. If you're doing a home-based workout environment, then there's equipment, right? There's equipment that you can add to the whole list. But now, doing all these things individually and trying to put it all together and build them yourself, trying to do a supplement company all yourself will be hard in itself. Creating a whole diet regime, or building a business that can deliver food on time that's healthy, nutritious, and is full of protein. That would take you forever to do. Accountability, you could do that. That'd probably be part of your core process, but there could be things like apps and technology and stuff that goes around that helps to improve the delivery of that accountability. Scheduling, right? You could create a schedule, but there could be technology and stuff as well that's helping around that. A place to work out. If you're at a place, there's gyms, like for you to go and build a gym, set up a gym, do a gym, all those types of things takes energy and effort. And if you've got people working at home, to make the equipment, it takes energy and effort to do that. And would you be able to do all of that? Maybe you could, but an easier way is to look at the journey of your client and create a package. Put a package together that helps them get the results they want. I'll show you what we've done in our business with ours specifically, but I use strength and bodybuilding because I enjoy going to gym, and gym is a good lifestyle to keep healthy and build your physique and keep strong, especially when you're getting older and all that stuff. I say that because I'm 50 years old now and still think that I'm in pretty good shape. So it's been an important part of my life, and I know that I would prefer to have everything all done in one package so that I can know how my month is laid out. I don't have to think about it. It doesn't consume me. So I've systematized all of this, and in that is a package. You could sell this for a high ticket price, right? $5,000, $6,000, right? Getting them the results that they want to get. And putting together a package like this isn't that difficult when you know how to do this. By doing this, it saves you energy, effort, and you can make a profit. Now there's obviously different layers of price points you can put to this. The idea of this, obviously, is to create equity and to have something of more value than what it costs you to put together. This has been one of the key ingredients of us being able to sell high-ticket products and services to our industry and compete and have something that's unique that no one else is doing. There's multiple ways to lay this out. Okay, so the point of that is that you need to look at what you're doing as a coach, consultant, or expert and see what you can add from other people, other industries, other sectors that you can join with to create these super awesome packages. So I'll give you an example, and this is our secret sauce that's helped us do our business, our first business, which was in real estate and helping people go from properties that were costing them more than what they were making to properties that were in a cash flow positive position. Not easy to do, but when you know the process, you can do it. So what was involved in all of that was a lot of effort to get to the point. Now we all understand that the most expensive products you can sell is done with you by when you do something with people or you do it for them. And you can do a hybrid of these. There's nothing saying you can't do a hybrid. You can coach, consult, and you can provide services in the back end. So when we talk about coaching, consulting, and expert businesses, they're all kind of mix and match agency services. There's such a big gray area these days. It's kind of, they're all the same. That's what I'm saying. So cash flow was the outcome. And to get that to happen took a whole lot of things, right? We needed to have compliance. There was a compliance component. A very important part of what we were doing meant that we had to have a compliant outcome. Then there was a design, right? There was an architect involved in the process, there still is. Then there is finance, structure, when you're structuring your business, asset protection, that type of stuff. There was a renovation process, and there is occupancy, and then there is ongoing management. So when we first started on this journey, we understood that the first component was important, and we didn't know who to turn to for that. And the first part of our journey was difficult to understand the compliance because there was complexity in the process that we were doing. But once we figured out compliance, we started putting together a package that incorporated a series of other professionals. And this series of professionals meant that we could use other people's expertise and put together something that makes sense. So packaging became a very, very powerful and profitable way for us to work. So $16,000 that we sold this whole compliance package to, and the outcome was to give them cash flow. Right, here's the unique part. And when we talk about equity, is that component that we created, this high ticket offer, cost us $8,000. $8,000 to put together, to have other people working with us, and everybody was making a little bit of that process, but that's how much it cost us to do. The cost to acquire a client is about just running around about $900 to $1,000, right, to acquire a client. So selling it at $16,000 means we're making about $7,000 profit, 7K profit. That's a really healthy profit in all of that. That is how you set up and create a high ticket business, because you can't do everything yourself. And if you know how to structure your packages the right way, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to coach everything. I mean, in this here, we also do coaching, right? And consulting. We consult in all of this. We've got a whole lot going on, but people come in here and we have created a single red diamond offer product that makes so much sense. It's clear the steps that we take to do it. We don't tell them about all the other stuff they got to do. We just show them how we make it simple. We get a result, and then all of this, we have these upsells that we can do in terms of management, in terms of acquisition, to acquire. So some people want to buy these things or products like this from us or from the market. We help them with acquisition and ongoing management. Like, these are the things that we've created. We've got one package that we sell for this, and oftentimes we will make, from the upsell process, we still have a profit. Yeah, we'll walk away with about $20,000 to $25,000 in profit, right? It's a huge ROI from just creating a simple package in the beginning. That's high ticket. We call it the red diamond. This drives our entire business. And then there's all this upsell stuff that happens in the back end, the ascension. The ascension is super important because that's what drives even more profit for you. Now, is it hard to do? Not really. It's pretty simple. Getting partnerships and working with other people is a pretty straightforward process. You build a system that runs itself, and we have created a really robust system to manage people, staff, and communication, and all that kind of stuff that keeps everything nice and succinct. This is the type of stuff we help our clients with. But when you can create an outcome like this, the upsells and all the other stuff become really easy to do because you don't have to put more effort into it. You've already created your red diamond, and that's what drives people to want to do business with you. And now they look at the huge value that you've created, and you can send them into other directions and make more profit out of them through partnerships. So partnerships have been a really huge part of our funnel, right? And so the red diamond funnel that I was talking to you about, this is it. It works well. When you drive people into your red diamond, which is the heart, it's the heart of your business, right? The heart of your business is here. Creating that simple process that people can buy into, and then how you deliver it in all these different avenues makes sense. Then you can go and ascend people. You take them and you send them up into these even higher ticket places. That's how you drive a beautiful, amazing, high ticket business. And if you have the systems in place and you know how to get client acquisition happening for you, you know how to build the number one ingredient in the business, which is trust, you then have an amazing opportunity to scale, grow, and do amazing things in your life, make a huge impact in your business. So I hope that's been of value to you. I hope you've enjoyed and this makes sense to you. If you want to come and join us and have us install a system like this in your business or help you build an engineered system like this, then hook us up. There's links below. You can talk to us, any one of our team, and we'll help you put this in place. We'll be sharing loads more videos about how we can help you build and scale your high-ticket coaching, consulting, or expert business. My name is Matthew White. I would like you to please watch this next video. It's going to explain more of what we do in helping coaches, consultants, and experts build high-ticket coaching businesses. And I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.